Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I created a Christmas envelope junk journal. So as a starting point, I'm using these envelopes. The size of the envelopes is 16.2 by 11.4 centimeters. And as you can see, I already made one as a little demo. And I had a little accident, but nothing that cannot be solved. I'm going to leave the opening because the idea behind this envelope journal started from this paper pad. It is Santeria Classic Christmas paper pad. Obviously, it's been used. I used it a lot for my projects last year. And I wanted to make a journal that features these little cards that are in the paper pad. For this junk journal, we're going to use tab binding technique. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up all of my envelopes with some Christmas paper. I'm probably going to use this little Christmas paper pad that I have, and also some of this, which is just Christmas wrapping paper. It's very vintagey, I like it. So yeah, let's start out. So our envelopes are done. I made 7 in total. This is how they look. This is the first one I did before starting the video. This is the one you just saw me make. And then I made others as well. I will show you. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to cover this part of the envelope, the white part. The gray part, unfortunately, even if I ink it up, you're still gonna be visible. It's still gonna be very grayish. So I decided I'm just gonna cover up this like white area. This could have been, avoided if I had coffee dyed the envelopes beforehand, but I didn't think about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little stickers. They are like this strip of stickers that have like plaid decoration on it, and they're like washi. They have the same material of washi tape. And this is how the border looks up close. And of course, in the meantime, I also did it for all the other envelopes. So the next step is going to be ink up all the edges of the envelope, and then we're going to move on to the binding. So I've inked up my envelopes, and now I'm moving on to the tab binding. I already cut out all the little tabs. In terms of width, I didn't really measure them, but I made sure that they were all the same length. And to make them, I used this lovely rough cloth that really adds a vintage and shabby look to the project. I will already put the envelopes in a way in the order that I want to bind them together. So this is the cover, and the back, of course, they are the same. What? Well, there's something wrong here. This should be like this. Okay, so I don't get confused. I will grab my first envelope, and I will grab the little tabs. I'm gonna use my cutting mat just to give an idea on how I want to put them. So I'm going to start. So I put them down like this, spread the glue a little bit, and put it like this. And this is the first one. Then I'm gonna put one in the center, and of course try to line it up with the first one. And again, I'm using my mat just to give myself an idea on the, yeah, well, maybe, okay, let's add a little bit of glue. Make sure to use a strong glue, especially if you're using a thick fabric. So maybe around here. Doesn't have to be perfect, at least I don't care about it being perfect. And then another one. Maybe here. Okay. Okay, then I will grab the second envelope and I'm going to line it up with the first one. And what I want to do is I want to alternate the tabs. So now we're going to put the tabs in between the other three. And maybe a bit lower. Okay. Oh my god, here it is. The same thing here. Maybe has to be, no, it has to be a little bit higher than I thought. Yes. Okay. Now we flip this, we line them up, okay? You see how it is? And now we're going to glue the rest of the tabs that we put on the first envelope like this. 1, 2, a mind frame. Yes, 3. Okay, let's start with the first one. Line up your, why is it not coming out? Oh, okay. Line up your pages or envelopes, whatever you're using, well, and make sure it's tight. So pull it a little bit. We don't want any loose pages. Now, what do? I'm going to grab the third envelope and I'm going to do the same thing I did on the first envelope. So because on this one we did this and this, now we want to alternate again, and I'm going to do the 3 tabs. Okay, so we've done the third one. I made a little pause because I realized that the glue that I was using wasn't ideal, so I just switched to my hot glue gun. I usually don't like using it, but for this project I need a strong glue, and I thought that this might have been better. So I've done the third one, I put the tabs over it, and now we're going to do the same thing we did with the second one. I'm going to flip it over, line it up with the other envelopes, and grab the tabs of the second envelope, and I will glue them like this, 1 and 2. So as you can see, it's very simple. Of course, to complete my little booklet, I will do the same for the rest of the envelopes. As you can see, it's a very easy technique. So this is our little journal all binded. And now what we have to do is to decorate it. I already cut out all the little cards that I intend to use for the inside of the envelopes, and these are all from the classic Christmas paper pad, as well as this piece of background paper. It's all from that, and I'm going to start by the covers, and out of this paper I'm going to make 2 frames in which I want to put these 2 cards because I absolutely adore them and I want them to be on the front and the back cover of my journal. Our 2 frames are done, and to measure them I just put the piece of cardboard of paper on the cover and measured it. You know, I didn't actually measure it, but the border is 1.5 centimeters. Before we glue it down and turn it into a pocket frame, because I want my card to slide up like this, I'm going to decorate them a little bit, and also I want them to give dimension, so I'll probably add some cardboard pieces to make it to raise it from the background. So my two frames are done and decorated. As you can see, I put some pieces of cardboard on the back, and I also decided to put a sheet of acetate in between the frame and the background because I want it to look like a window, and I already cut out my two pieces of acetate in the right size. And because, of course, this is a Christmassy project, I'm also going to add some white splatters on the acetate to make it look like snow, and then I will glue it down on my frames. Okay, so now the splatters are dry, and I'm going to glue them down. But before I do, I wanted to give you a little close-up of the frames. And this is our little frames that look like windows. Now, because these have to be pocket frames, I will create another layer of cardboard. So these are the two cards I will be using for the frames, and I want to make sure that the cardboard that I'm going to use to create another level makes the card fit into the pocket. Also, I want to leave this area open because, of course, we need to slide it up. Before we glue down our frames, I will be working on the cards. I want to leave them as they are, but because they need to slide up, I want to create a little string on top so it can be pulled easily. While I was trying to fit in my threads in the eyelets, I had a little accident happen. So now I'll need to cover it up. I decided that I'll probably cover it up by gluing down this red ribbon, so it will partially cover up the hole and the rip, and then I'll put like another ribbon on top of it glued down, and maybe on the back I'll also find something to cover it up. So despite the inconveniences, I managed to make my cards. As you can see, I fixed the little accident with this ribbon, and then I also made it like this on the other card. On this one, I glued this thing down because I didn't want the same thing to happen, and so I just kept it simple without stressing the little eyelet too much. I think it's because the paper was a bit too flimsy and it didn't take the pulling very well. But I'm really happy on how the cards look, despite everything. I think this ribbon looks very good with the card, so you know, it's like the accident never happened. Okay, so now we're ready to glue down the frames on the journal. Initially, I wanted to put the Santa on the cover and this little snowy village image on the back. But I kind of changed my mind because for some reason I really love this image. It's very Christmassy, it's very warm. So I definitely want this to be my cover, and the Santa will be on the back. So I will be using this as the cover because this image caught my eye. And the frames I made accordingly to the image. So of course, because I made this frame for this, I will make it out. This frame would be on the cover and this on the back. Okay, so the frames are glued down, and now I'm kind of scared. I have to see if the cards actually fit. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do, but who knows? Let's try. Okay. Oh, look how pretty. It looks very cute, doesn't it? Let's try on the back. I kind of regret putting this big poinsettia, but it's already glued down, so I guess we have to roll with it. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh no. I want the ribbons to be out. Does it fit? It does. Oh my god. Okay. And we're done with the covers. It pulls out. Perfect. Well, this one, because of the poinsettia, is a little bit, but you know, it does fit. It does put in and go out. So we're done with the cover. Next up, we're going to decorate the inside of our junk journal.